Alrighty, you're welcome to my intentional parenting journey. And today we are having the Adeniji. And today it's a couple conversation. I'm going to really enjoy it. Please confirm to me that you can see me, you can hear me, and that you are actually here. Say hello, say hi. Let me see you right in the comment section. Please forgive us. Our guest is having a bit of a challenge coming up at this time, and we are waiting for them. They've been logged on, but we couldn't hear them at first. So we are here again, still waiting for them to actually get in. Thank you again for joining me this morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for always being here. We have only 20 days to go on my intentional parenting journey. So if you've been listening to us and you've been wondering, oh, I'm really enjoying this program and all of that, in the next 20 days, my intentional parenting journey actually ends. And we will just carry our legs inside our inner circle and go and do our thing. So don't be left behind. Don't become that parent that just, glosses over the things of the surface. And when the real thing now happens, you are nowhere to be found. This is particularly very instructive because you would need some sort of sustainability for you to actually have your journey as a parent put together. My name is Wendy Uloge, and I'm called effortlessly your number one parent coach. And one of the things that I have enjoyed that throughout this whole period is the amazing insight that parents have brought to all of the things that we have done so far. So it is my pleasure again to bring you another episode of my intentional parenting journey. I am particularly excited. I am excited because this journey, we're going to hear another perspective of another client, another parent who is sharing their perspective through the conversation. All right, we have the Adenijis right in the comment. Can you hear me, sir? Oh, wow. We still cannot hear you. It's probably from your device. I don't know what it is that you're using. If you can hear me, you're probably having an issue with that device. Maybe you should check the volume of the device and see if maybe your volume is not triggering. All right. So I don't know if it's not muted. Somebody said maybe it's muted. It's not muted. They are not muted. I think it's just a connectivity issue. I think it's just a connectivity issue that they are currently having. I am hoping that you're able to, maybe you should use another device, maybe a phone or something to now log in. Alrighty, so they are going to wait. So sorry about that. They are going to go and then they will come back. All right. Yes, and today I come to you in my lovely pink. Thank you so much again for joining me, and thank you for being here. Well, I've had many episodes of my intentional parenting journey, and I want to believe that every single one of us have actually been able to take something away from these journeys. All right, while we're here today. All right, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Now we can hear you. Thank you so much, people of the community. Can you confirm that we can hear the Adenijis? Yes, Mr. Adeniji is my person. My person, at the back, my person. It's one of the fathers that, that me and him, we have plenty businesses at the back.
Honestly.
Thank,
Honestly.
thank you so much, sir, for joining us. You're streaming live from the US, right?
No, it's from the UK.
UK. Sorry, yes. Yes, so it is such an honor and a pleasure to have you right here. I think maybe you should adjust the camera a bit so that you can just see your faces, so that we just see only faces. All right. Thank you so much. And it is an to have you, Mrs. Adeniji. I will call Mrs. Adeniji one of the popping wives in the inner circle because she's at the back. You see the way she's following at the back. I don't want to know whether we have ever exchanged any pleasantry, but Mr. Adeniji is in the front and it's good enough for me. Ma, you don't need to show up. Don't be at the back. You see the way you're at the back like that. Be there, remain there consistently. Thank you again for joining me this morning. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for agreeing to share your journey. And I'm going to be going straight to the conversation because we've jumped into the time and I know that we need to actually wrap this up as quickly as possible because the Adenijis have requested that they have an appointment to keep in the next hour. Thank you again for agreeing to do this.
Thank you, Coach.
We are going to just run through. Please tell us, talk to us. How did you get into the inner circle? How long have you been in the inner circle? Who got into the inner circle first? Have you both of you even entered together? I don't know if Mr. Adeniji, where did she enter? But I shall know that Mr. Adeniji has been here for a while. So over to you, ma'am, and sir, please share with us.
Thank you very much, Coach. Well, I prefer calling you my VC. That's the word I use most time when I have conversation because I have seen inner circle as a place of real learning, and we joined the inner circle actually December 2023. But before then, my wife actually has been the one that has been following. She's a good follower. She has been following inner circle teachings. But that time when she was doing it, I was like, what is taking the attention of this woman? That thing must be very, very important. So I will peep on what she's doing. That time, I think we were having 2019, we're having Fathers Conference, therapy Fathers Conference, and she kept telling me, this thing, I need to attend Fathers Conference. I don't need any conference to parent my children. I'm already, know what to do. And so I was not giving real attention, but she was persisting, following and doing what she was doing. I said, well, she has her time. It was close to, I think, 2022 or so that I now began to show interest on this thing that this woman is saying. I will go behind and because she will send me some of the webinar. I say, who is this person that is talking with such an authority? I don't think I've ever met somebody that that has such kind of wisdom and with instructions. That really caught my attention, and I say, okay, I think this is what giving attention to. I began to listen to what my wife began to say that this thing is important for us. So, she stayed in the background, but she has the power, the way she carry in her voice, it's not small, and that influenced me. So I will say that my wife actually was the one that motivated me, encouraged me to join. So eventually, by 2023 December, we agreed that this is where we need to be because many reasons, were coming. We're looking at the situation. I have 3 boys, and I used to say that my house actually is a military cantonment because when you have boys, it's a whole lot. Coach can testify to that. It's a whole lot, and the 3 of them are active, asking you questions that you must answer. They will demand for the answer now. With the kind of background that I have, my father was a soldier, and he raised us to be, it's a give and take. I will give you the way it come, and so we were raised with that kind of background, and I thought that's the only way to parent because children, they are stubborn. You need to hit them hard for them to be correct. But coming to the inner circle made me to realize that
enter the next question.
Okay, discipline actually is not. So let me stop there because my partner's already.
I just love it. You're listening to Mr. Adeniji, and I know that it's Mrs. Adeniji that brought him in. But you know what I know? She has stayed since he came. She has stayed at the back. This guy, okay, take your parenting, please. We're doing it. I shall be following from the back. If there's any issue that they need to reach out to me, it's Mr. Adeniji that reaches out to me. He's the one that comes to say, Coach, VC, please, there is something. I said, correct. I'm very popular person. Ma, please take your flowers. Talk to us, ma. How did you get into
My
the business?
coach.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's a long
sir.
story. Oh. Yeah, the journey started actually in 2018 or 2019. Yeah, one of my friend, my university mate, she was already in the yard. So she tagged me on Facebook, Dr. Joy Nefisa. So she tagged me on Facebook. So I was like, whenever I go online or into Facebook, I will see notification. The Intentional Parenting Academy. I said, who is this one again? So one day I decided to open, and I saw Coach Wendy. I said, these people again. Football have coach. Parenting now is coming with coach again. Coach everywhere. Lifestyle coach. This coach. I said, I beg. Another time I open up and I saw coach. I like, these people are for real. Oh. I'm sorry to say, coach, you know, some of us, we can be so critical. I'm like, who is this with red lipstick, red long coffee, and and is it dreadlock? What does she have to give herself? These worldly people. You know, some of these good church Christian girls.
No.
God can relate. So I'm like, what does this woman have self? So I kept on reading following coach with all those things. But I kept on following coach. I followed, so I came into the Tuesday life. I said, this person is sent to, this person is from a different place. So that's how I continue. I continue joining coach, reading her updates on Facebook, joining Tuesday live. Then I started buying some things. The first bundle I bought was the holiday bundle. And I told my husband, I bought some things, so can you help me photocopy them? Hey, when you go to work, my husband photocopied them. He came back, he said, my wife, what is all this? I spent 6,000 to photocopy these things. What is all this? What is the meaning of all this? Parenting what? So that is when he's like, all these things. So what I did was I kept sending him links. When any program is coming up, I'll send him links. I'll follow up on it. How did it go? How is the program go? He will give me the feedback. So when we were planning to go for further study, I told him, this environment we are going to, this parenting thing, we have to take it to another level. So that was when, as he had said, he joined Father Conference and some other program. He agreed and registered us. So we registered December 2022. And that is how we joined the inner circle. So that's how our journey started.
All these worldly people. In fact, I had someone come to me to say, the first time I met him, I was like, this one go they read Bible at all. They could laugh. The colored hair on top of the hair. We are listening to Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji. Mrs. Adeniji looks like she's the one that is at the back. But trust me, the one that actually brought her husband here and left her husband what? This guy, sir, you are the one with parenting matter. Please go and do it. All righty. And then me life all the way to the United Kingdom. Thank you again for being here. And fathers who are watching, trust me, this is a place. I tell you, the fathers who are in the inner circle are in the front. They are the ones managing their houses. They are in the front. They are very much in the front. They are the ones that reach out to me. They are the ones that do everything. They are the ones that I can't count how many times I've chatted with Mr. Adeniji. They are the ones that I have conversations with. I don't even know some of them. I don't know where their wives are. Sometimes I'm like, they'll say, but my wife is in the inner circle. So I'm like, okay, this woman have sense. Just be there. I cannot count how many times I will see a voice note from Dr. Dekore. He would send me voice notes. Oh, this I say correct. It is your ministry, sir. Let's go there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you for being here. I want to hear the part of after you saw the red lipstick and the red nail polish. What happened to these worldly people who are coming there, man? But Mr. Dennis, what was that thing that got you when you got into the inner circle? What was that thing that have kept you to understand that, to know that okay, that this is where it is I'm supposed to be? And how has the inner circle affected every area of your life? Anywhere you want to take it, your marriage, your parenting, and your work. Over to you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, ma. Just like before I go into that, if my wife has said something, I actually have a premonition that when I first part of my struggle, that when I saw that it was a woman that was leading, the mantle, I said, is it another feminist group? Because I was very skeptical, because maybe because of the kind of exposures and I had, but when I entered and put my hair, I discovered that this person is actually sent from above, because he's connected to the Almighty. The words that come, they are not just, you can't get them on the Google, you can't Google them on YouTube or anywhere. They come directly from God. Particularly some of the voice notes. There was a day that a voice note that came that I can't remember the particular day, but the voice note actually came because of me. I had to sit down there, cry small. I do my cry. My wife was not even aware. So later, I told her that God has spoken to me through the inner circle. That I was struggling. I was going through. That day you were emphasizing the issue of you say you were overwhelmed. You are overwhelmed. Actually, I was the one that was overwhelmed that day. And how to that it is in the midst of being overwhelmed that you become more productive, more creative. That was the emphasis that morning. I was saying, God, you have spoken. I don't know. That throughout that day, I was just thanking God for that voice. So I believe inner circle is a place to be for everyone. It impacted me so that my wife will even testify to it. I noticed that throughout that day, I was just calm. I said, you don't understand. God spoke to me today, and my relationship with my children when I joined the inner circle has been very, very wonderful. I told you I have boys, and they are very, very active. Initially, before I joined, once they come, I give it to them. Oh yeah, go take your position. Everybody take that. That was the way I was parented. And I remember in one of the Tuesday live, or that you are the product. You are something that the coach said, that you are a product of who raised you, how you are raised, where you are raised, and what the person that raised you know. Actually, that was for me. I was raised by a military man. What he knew was give and take. Once you come, I give it to you. And that was the mindset I brought into parenting. But joining the inner circle made me to see that discipline is not an emergency. And there's a discipline that works. I thought that it's just to give it like that. No, you need to connect to correct. If you are not connected, you cannot correct properly. And I want to say this to every person that listens to me. If you are a parent and you are still hesitating that this thing, what are they talking about? I am a living testimony. My wife can testify. I don't give it. Once a child come to me, I give it to him. But I begin to see them. But when I began to realize that no, it's because I'm not connected emotionally to this child. I just feel it's disturbing me. It's wasting my time. I now realize that I need to listen. And my children are more connected to me. They come close. They are free to share anything. Even at this their age, they will come, Daddy. This. Let me give you an example. There was a time my first son came. He saw somebody smoking. He said, Daddy, why am I not smoking? I want to. I say, why are you smoking? If we were to be my former self, I'll shout him. I'll shout. Say, you are a Christian. How will a child of God be talking about that? I said, I took advantage of that to discuss with him that, I talk what smoking is, the implication of smoking, and and what the thing that therapy has taught us to sit down and teach them. It's a time to teach them what certain things, even at their level. That's that when he sees somebody smoking, so this is what maybe that person art. He begin to tell me, maybe the person art is black. So he doesn't want his own art to be black. So so some of these things have made them to be more open to us. I become more vulnerable to my children. They to say whatever they want to say to me. They know that they will get answer. Another one, my son will tell me, say, Daddy, why are we not going to heaven? In fact, two of them used to ask me, Daddy, when will Jesus come? When they ask me such questions, as far I would say, I don't know. I noticed that they persist in asking me, when will Jesus come? They can't answer that question. Maybe because of the kind of teaching we have been teaching them. I now sat them that one day, I thought it talk about Jesus, talk about heaven. So it's so wonderful that they enjoy, they just enjoy, coming close to me. So, and for my family life, I noticed that my wife, I used to be impatient with her. I'm gonna be honest. I used to be very impatient, but being in that circle have taught me, doing some of these rules, some of these tools, and made me to realize that we are all work in progress, and it is in our becoming that our generation will be imparted. And I realized that I need to be more patient with her, so that we can become together to help our posterity and help our generation. And before, if she comes to me like that, I can just, the way it's give and take now, I just give, say, this is it. If you don't take, leave it. But I'm now becoming more compassionate and empathetic, towards her. I want to listen because she is a communication person. She likes, one of her love language is communication. I know that by excellence. Yes, from the book, this five love language by Gary Chapman also helped me, to learn my children love language, my wife. I begin to follow them. Okay, this is who you are, and relate with them. So the inner circle really helped me wonderfully. And one area that I will not forget to talk about is healing from childhood trauma. Healing from childhood trauma is it's on top gear for me, because I never knew I had carried trauma from childhood until we began to have that training. Because coach said something that childhood trauma is not only in what was done to you, but what has not been done that ought to have been done. I also give you trauma. I came from that a lot, as my coach will always say. That background, that many things were not done, omissions were not done, and we were just going like that. We're just going until we grow up. And when we were not going through that training, I realized that I was just picturing myself that, these were the reasons why I was doing this, because they were informing some of the behaviors, even that I carry into adulthood, affecting my family life, my relationship with people. I never knew. I thought maybe just myself. That training exposed, those things that I've stored. Truly, man, trauma cannot be deleted. It just stored somewhere until you receive a trigger. I remember you mentioned someone you were prison. So it popped out, and I thank God for that, mindfulness. One of the coach took us through a process of healing. I was part of it. I thank God, and I was able to go through it and receive healing in that aspect. So by and large, I want to say that being in that circle has brought a lot of transformation to my personal life, my family life, my relationship with my children, even my friends, my co-worker. I've been able to have more tender. Before, it's a lion. When it comes to discussion or relating with people, it's give and take. I've been emphasizing that. But now it's more empathy, listening, active listening to people, and responding with grace to people. So let me stop there.
Amazing. We have visitor Mr. Adeniji. Mr. Adeniji has been in the yard. Of course, you can see that he's one of the very active fathers. You're on Tuesday live, you see Mr. Adeniji alive. You're on Thursday live, you see him live. Very active yarder, right? I'm sure that Mr. Adeniji has done her homework, that she's now up. Ma, as you up for lecture in your bosom. You have done it well. Mr. Adeniji, over to you. And I know when we started this conversation, if you were not here at the beginning, Mr. Adeniji said that when she saw me the first time, and shout out to you, Dr. Joy Nafisa. She was the one who linked her up to the Intentional Parent Academy in 2018, 2019. And that was the early days. And she said that she used to just look at this person who has one dread, has one red, and one nail that is red. And she's wondering what people are again. Ma, now join the inner circle. What was it? And how has the inner circle improved your life? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, I honor you.
Well done,
Yes. Yeah, it has been a good journey in the inner circle. You know, when we came in, it was as if we came in because of the kids and the new environment we were moving into, because that was the coach. You always say you must know the why of whatever you are doing. So the why for us in the beginning was we want to see our children better than us. We want to see them better than us. And that is one thing coach keep teaching and all that. So when I got into the inner circle, I noticed that as others we say, as coach we say, parenting is not about the children. Parenting is about me. So I have to bring myself to the table of slaughter. I have to defend myself. Coach, you say, those, is it humility agbada?
Yes, you're not
Yes. I have to go and borrow more yard. Get more yard. And bring myself down and humble myself to come under this coach.
I can testify to that.
Because coach, I'm telling you, I used to be a critical person. I can critique things a lot.
100%.
Yeah, I want to critique. I say, well, how long will I continue this critique waiting? So I have to bring myself. I have to defend that myself and come down under coach. I think that is the first level that helped me in the inner circle. So when I brought myself down, I have to start following coach again, as if I've not been following before. I have to start afresh, put myself under daily following, listening to coach voice notes. That voice is like it rings in my ear. Have an amazing day, coach. Have an amazing day. I am Coach Wendy Ologe, the founder of the Intentional Parenting Academy for Tuesday Live. So I got to make myself to be available to read coach's voice notes, follow the Tuesday Live, the Thursday webinars, and coach. The first one that slaughtered me is trauma. That trauma issue, coach. Even that my response to you was trauma. Who is this Cinderella auntie? It's trauma. All these people that are saying, too much money and TIP, how can I pay one? It's trauma. It's trauma. It's trauma. So, coach, I noticed that when we were reading this book, from yelling to kind, discipline that work. Coach, your books are loaded. They are simple to read. None of coach book, I think, is more than 300 pages. Yeah. They are very easy to read, understandable. So that issue of trauma, I noticed that coach, this yelling, our children are still young, 6, 5, and 2. When I call their name, David, I see him shaking. I say, Jesus, this is what coach has been saying. Trauma has been transferred to this boy. Now, when you call his name, the boy will be shaking.
Wow.
It was serious, coach.
Wow.
That was the first one that got me down. I said, there is work to be done. Trauma. I had to listen to those teaching. Coach Eyitayo and the other man, I've forgotten his name. I had to say, God, this trauma issue. Trauma. Yelling to calm. Coach, I'm calm now. I'm calm now.
That's true.
Hey, let me not be calm now. I'm the one coaching him in that aspect. Now, when you want to raise it, I say, please, don't raise your voice. Bring it down. So the greatest influence, as I'm saying, is this issue of yelling. I'm calm now, coach. I'm still getting there. I've not gotten there yet. Emotional intelligence is another one. Coach, my emotion can be like this. That's how it was. But going through those training, being in the inner circle, has helped my emotion, has stabilized me. What is that? Time and energy management. Coach, is perfectionist that is talking to you. It must be 100%. This work I plan to finish today, I must meet my target. Today, I must meet this target.
That's so.
Whether it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I must finish it. And Auntie Etima came, rest. That topic of rest and her testimonial, what she went through. Nobody will die, as coach will say.
That's so.
Let the work wait. Nobody will die. Coach, you know what it means to have toddlers, that you have arranged the house, you have done this spoon should be kept here, this knife. Nobody will die. Coach, thank you.
You are listening to Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji. Who else is having a call this morning? I think when the couple come, they just speak us off to laughing. In fact, I can't even hold myself. In fact, something is that called me Cinderella Auntie. That's the new name. I just said it that I can't even hold myself. Thank you again for joining us this morning. And thank you for being here. The truth of the matter is that the inner circle will humble you. There was something that shared earlier. I said, what those days? I woke up. A particular voice note was for me. I listened, I cried. According to my son, I cried and I cried some more. And then I stood up, my tears, and I took steps on what it is that to do.
Yeah.
In the inner circle, men, women alike, we cry when we need to cry, and we move on when we need to move on. There is no shame. We are not ashamed of anything. We call the things the way it is. We are not our trauma. We call it out, put it on the table, deal with it, and we go. We are able to actually come to ourselves and say, God, this is the way I used to think about this. But look at me today. We are vulnerable. We are truthful. We are not ashamed of anything. People have come to say, Coach, I just saw you. I didn't even like you. I didn't even like the way you are. But now, when I now start listening and all of that, Miss Adeniji said something. She said, I needed to intentionally listen. It's as if I wasn't listening before. But I made up my mind that I'm going to drop everything and leave all my, righteousness and even open my mind first. Let me even listen. And she said, I intentionally had to put myself under. There is something that I say about learning. If you don't, you will not succeed. It's impossible to learn without being humble. Totally impossible. And that's why that we say in the inner circle, come naked and not ashamed. We are not here to prove anything. I have said everything. I have said it before that the inner circle is an equalizer. It will equalize all of us. Whether you are high up there or you are low up there, all of us are seeking one thing, to make ourselves better so that our children will become better. It's one thing, one goal. We're not here to come and prove more money. We're not here to come and prove who has done it better. Even in our parenting, we have all learned to waka our waka in peace. So when you come to me, I'm like, stay on your lane. Even when parents have tried to compare, I say, stay on your lane. People's children are writing books. I've said it before. My children have never written books. I am not flattered. It is not the way we are going. And do I applaud the people that are writing books and do well? Trust me, I love it. I celebrate with them. But it's not our life. I'm not agitated in any way. I know the way we are going, and we are going there. That's one of the beautiful things that the inner circle does for you. You are at peace. You are not. Nobody is doing giving. Nobody is peppering you. Anything. You are the one for yourself. The peppering is for you. Talk to me, Mr. Adeniji. What will be? Let's do top 2 webinars, and then Mr. Adeniji will do top 2. What will be your top 2 webinars in the inner circle?
Thank you. My top 2 webinars. It's I think the how do I put it now?
The topic.
Some of the I don't know whether this one is.
They are tools. These ones are tools.
I don't know this webinar or tools, but there was something that we talk about has to do with gratitude. Gratitude, and for me, well, maybe because of my background, you do things here. Okay, thank you. It's not with that humility, say thank you and all those things. I think there was, whether it's a webinar or a connecting tool, that taught me how to be appreciative, how to appreciate people, not just take people for granted. And for instance, maybe somebody do something, just say, I'm the one that I used to say thank you or thanks. I just say thanks, and I remember we're corrected. That thank you for what? That when you thank somebody, you have to state what the person do. Thank you for helping me to achieve this. Thank you for even your child. Thank you for being part of this family. Thank you. Even your wife. Thank you for being my wife or staying with this person that is work in progress. State it clearly so that the person can know. So this person took careful note of this thing. But me is thanks. I'll write message thanks. But since that time, I realized that I will even state clearly. I remember I sent a message to coach, my BC, that thank you for listening to God, the calling of God in this particular aspect. I particularly sent a message because I saw that gratitude opens the door to a lot of things. In my own in my language, they will say if you thank somebody, it will help the person to be able to do more for you. So that's one. The other one is honor. Is it honor as a skill or something like that? Honor as a skill. Oh, it's wonderful because I began to see. Initially, I used to think that the goal of this intentional parent is obedience. I must command my children to obey me. And once they obey me, I see it as that's all. But I discovered that somebody can obey you and he doesn't honor you. Yeah, so he can be obedient, eye service, and it's not coming from the heart. It's not coming from a heart. This is my parent. Let me do it out of honor, not out of compulsion. So that webinar really taught me that you need to it's vice versa. You need to honor your child, and in respecting their opinions and responding to them when you're supposed to respond to them, and that makes them to see you in a light that my parent is somebody that needs to be honored. It's not the one that is screaming and shouting on his head that you must do this. He identifies with me, he listens to me, and he gives me what he needs to give me as per time. So those 2 webinars really impacted me and my family. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing. Thank you again, Mr. Adeniji. In the inner circle, when you say thanks, I've seen New Yarders, they write thanks. In my mind, I say, because you guys, your loneliness will be dealt with. You see how that thanks? You reply people, and then you just say, hello, boy. You reply people, you just, do it just anyhow. There's no anyhowness in that. As you are coming, come with that mindset, because we'll remove all your anyhowness and clothe you a code
That's
of
so.
honor. I
That's
posted
so.
something recently where the president of Botswana knelt down for the husband, and somebody
Yeah,
said, "Eh,
I
you
saw
can
that
kneel
too.
down all you can kneel down all you want. A man that will stay will
Mm,
not stay." I say, "Look at you. You think honor
mm,
is for the man? Honor is for you.
mhm,
Very ignorant.
mm,
Very ignorant something. You think we are doing this
mm.
thing is because of the next person. Honor is about you. It's not about the next person. And when you
Yeah.
understand that, it changes your mind. And if you're looking forward to honor as a skill, if you are a new
Mm.
yada, in the comment section, let me see you put the fire emojis, but I can assure you, you shall not be
Yeah.
disappointed. After honor as a skill,
Yeah.
your life takes
Yeah.
shape. Thank you again for
That's
joining
so.
us. Come to me. What will be your top 2 webinars? Yeah.
Coach, I'm scanning my heart. There are plenty of them are just coming up.
I know.
Okay. Family dynamics is one.
Mm.
Family dynamics.
Mm.
Yes. Time and energy management. Then
Mm.
seasons of life
Mm.
by Coach Omola. Omolara.
Mm.
Seasons of life. Coach. That one was so timely. It came at a time that we were like in the middle of something as a family. We just relocated and we are trying to find our feet and balance life. And that seasons of life came. When it came, you know, when you come to a new environment, you are meeting people that have been there before you for years. You are also seeing people that you are even there before them. And it's like if you are not careful, as coach, you will leave your lane, oh, you will leave your lane and join their lane. So
Mm.
that business of life, family dynamics, it kept me in check. It kept me in check. Those two webinars, they kept me in check. Seasons of life, family dynamics, and Auntie Tima's own rest. That issue of rest. I can worry for Africa, coach. I can worry for Africa. But that rest,
Mm.
that webinar really address issue in my personal life that helped me. So let me stop there for those just those 3 for now.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And thank you again for being here. We have Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji streaming all the way from the United Kingdom, and they have joined the inner circle. They've been here for a year, right? As a couple. Mr. Adeniji met me in 2018. So Mr. Adeniji joined her just about a year ago, but I can tell you for free, I don't see Mr. Adeniji in my face often. I see Mr. Adeniji in front. I'm very much in front. And anything that there is the one that is coming. He's the one that, in
Yeah.
fact, sometimes we're even having some conversations, he will come and, tell me about, some stuff that is happening and all of that. Yes, you know that the other fathers are my people. I love them specifically. If you are
Yes,
angry,
so.
you
Yes,
are not.
so.
I just have love for this man. Just somehow, we just
Yeah.
and we just connect in our corner. There's
That's so.
no one of them. As in, we just
That's so.
connect.
That's so.
Thank you again for being here. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to run quickly through the books so that we can begin to actually, call it, round off. Mr. Deniji, what would be your top 2 books that you have read in the inner circle?
Oh, thank you, ma'am. The first one is discipline is not an emergency. It's not something that as it comes, give and take, the way I've been saying. It's something that you need to really be emotionally intelligent to discipline your child. Because otherwise you will crush that child. You will not help that child. You are supposed to raise a king. And raising a king, the kingmaker must not behave like a slave.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you are a kingmaker, you must not behave. You cannot raise a king if you are a slave. If you have a slave mentality, one of the teachings that we had. So this discipline is not an emergency. Is that nobody is going to die. Calm down. You need to just calm yourself down and
Mm.
talk them, bring it to the table, and let's see how it goes, and let the child take issue of taking responsibility for whatever you have done. Really, really struck me in that anything that has happened, a child come to a point you take responsibility. I did this, and this is how I should have done it next time. It's not beating that produce the result. It is in the discussing, it is in the connection with the
Mm.
child, and how it happened that you get and so that's why I noticed that discipline is not an emergency. There's a discipline that works. So the other one that touched me, that I'm still reading, I've not come out of it, is raising the independent thinking child. Oh my God. In that book, I say, oh, this book, in fact, I will read out, I carry it like a Bible. My Bible is here, the book is beside me, because all my children, they are independent thinkers. Even the
Mm.
small one, yeah. I will say, do this. He will say, why should I? So it's like, why should I do that thing? How do I connect with this kind of small boy now, the way with his attitude? I realized that it's from that book that independent thinkers, if they are guided properly, they can be very innovative and
Yes.
creative. I saw it from the book, and I now saw that anytime I told you that they've been asking me series of questions before, I would push them aside, but now I use that opportunity as a teaching moment for them, to teach them some things, to help them understand some things about life, and we'll move on from there. So that's one of this thing for me. And sorry, man, there's a quote I wrote down. I said I'm going to say it because it's very strong for me. That
Mm.
in one of your books, I can't remember, I said, ignorance is the lowest form of knowledge.
Mm.
When you are ignorant of something, it's an assumption that it's not even, I think it's assumption. Assumption is the lowest form of knowledge.
Mm.
That when you are assuming things, don't have the true picture. That's why you can misjudge. But when you really, really know, it is in your knowing that your becoming, comes
Mm.
in.
Mm.
Application of that knowledge that you have, then you become. And it's in your becoming that imparts your generation. So
Mm.
these two books, Discipline is Not an Emergency and Raising the Dependent Thinking Child, have made a lot of impact in my life. I'm still reading them. I'm still going
Mm.
through them. So that, because my wife said the other time, when I want to come up again, you say, calm down, calm down. Discipline is not an emergency. So I'll open myself again. Take your time.
Amazing, amazing. You can see how I usually say that your greatest accountability partner is your spouse. That person who will just and just the other day, one of those days, I was trying to do something with my daughter, and my husband just called me on one side and said, Ma, this one, if you do it, it will backfire. Oh. Can you just use the other route? Because what I'm seeing is not going to end well. I say, it will not end well. Okay, let me go back to my drawing board, and I'm able to actually get things and do it again. If I didn't have that accountability right there with me, I was going to struggle, and I would have done something wrong. So it's not really about it. After all, you know what you're doing. You're a parent coach. Trust me, it is not just about knowing it. It's about translating it to becoming. And those two books that Mr. Adeniji, talked about were both, books that we read in the inner circle. I also going to still read them. Raising the Independent Thinking Child and the Discipline That Works. I still picked up the Independent Thinking Child recently myself. And I started to read it in a particular place. And I jotted down some things I needed to now apply in the next stage. I said, God, I just said to myself, I said, God, thank God for this book. I have shared before how I was able to actually write this book. I had finished writing it, the manuscript sent out. I was on the plane to the US and I had cancel the manuscript. I canceled it and I had to start to write it. It took a different turn. If you see the former manuscript and this one, they are two different books.
Wow.
And how it happened, honestly, is a conversation for another day. But it is
Wow.
that one book that got me really. There's a lot of connection to the things that I heard that I wrote, and honestly, it's been a game changer for many. And if you are listening to me, you have not gotten the new 4 set or 5 set,
I
right?
said,
The raising part. I saw my dad reading the parenting advice over the weekend. So I went
oh,
to the back and I saw him downstairs in the garden. He was reading it. I took some pictures and made some videos. I was like caught in the act. He said, Omo, this book is wonderful. He now looked at me
yeah.
and he said, you are the one that wrote this book. He said, it's different from what it is that you have written over the years. I was like, oh, yeah. And I met my mom reading The Trophy Child. So I had just come back from work a few days ago, and mommy was reading Raising the Trophy Child. And I walked in on her in the sitting room, and I walked in on her in the sitting room. And one of the things that she said to me was, I knew you were smart. I knew you knew a lot. I didn't know you were genius in this manner. I was like, mommy, genius, wow, what is happening? Oh, for the record, my friends are, currently around in my house. And, I was like, mommy, what? She said, I can't even believe the things I'm reading. So, so I said to them, both of them, I said, since my parents have given me my flowers, any other review you have, you're your own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
no.
own.
Thank you again for joining us. We have Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji right in the building. Mrs. Adeniji, please talk to us. What will be your top 2 books that you have read in the yard?
Okay. Connect to correct. You see, in my mind, I was trying. I said, is it correct to connect? I said, no, it's connect to
Connect to
correct.
correct.
That book is a great book. The connection needs to be there before any reasonable correction can be made to a child. If the connection is not there, the connection has to be there. So that is one of my top books. The second book is Resolving Sibling Rivalry. Coach, I'm from a polygamous home, a large one, a very big polygamous home. And this sibling rivalry thing, coach, as I was reading this book, I was literally crying. As I was reading the experiences of people in that book, coach, tears were running down my eyes. That book, coach, thank you for that book.
Wow.
Coach, let me add the third one. How to love your child more. Coach, how to love your child more. These children, all of them are unique, as coach will say. All of them are gifted in their own way. I say, if coach can love her twins the way she talked about them. And there is one statement that coach made that has been a guide to me. You can love your children equally in their own separate way. You can love them equally in their own way. And that's how I see this, my children, as individuals, each of them. And I followed coach in this, how to love your child more. And so far, I have seen that I've been able to love them at their own level, in their own way. Because of how can you do it? Because I was asking myself before now, is it possible? Because people will also bring the issue of Jesus, that after all, Jesus also loved the inner circle, the three apostles, right? John, James, and Peter. He loved them more than others. But that statement that you can love them equally in their own different way has really helped me. So how to love your child more is the third book I will pick. So those are the 3 books. But the biggest of them all is that connects to correct.
Amazing, amazing. You have Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji. And Mrs. Adeniji said she will not add 2 books, she added 3. How to love your child more. I think that How to Love Your Child More too is one of the books that I love. I love the practicality. I love that you are able to pick it up and do something, and your children will be able to love in the tangibility of it. There was something that Mr. Adeniji said when he was talking. He said, one of the things that got me on my feet was that if we are going to raise kings, the kingmaker must not be a slave. That hits me like, almost I just hear. The kingmaker cannot be a slave. You can't be a slave and raise a king. Yes, even though you are not a king, but kingmaker is never a slave. Never ever. The kingmaker is always one of the people that call the shots in the society. Go and ask questions. The kingmakers are powerful people. The kingmakers are the people who know their know-how is something else. So how do you
That's
want to
true.
raise when you are a slave? I think if there's nothing that you heard, I think that you should take away this particular, statement to go. Mr. Adeniji, some people are listening to you who also think, are you sure that this is not a feminist group, like you said before? That thing you said before. Are you sure that are you sure it's not when they come and be telling women power? What is it? When your husband just stop, give it to him. And some men are afraid. Yes, some men are actually, they are actually afraid. And
That's
and
true.
and, and honestly, I do not blame them. They are in that place where they are thinking, and now come and join face. They now come and be telling women empowerment. Oh yeah, let's go in the front. All of that. I want you to speak to those men who are listening to you as we begin to round off in this session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Uh, fathers and the men that are listening to me, I want you to know that inner circle is a place to be for every man, every father. When you are together with your wife in the yard, it brings more. The Holy Bible says, one will chase 1,000, two will put 10,000 to flight. If the two of you work together.
Yes.
When I listened to Coach Ebuka and Coach Ruth the other day, in fact, I couldn't hold myself the way I was screaming as I shouted here. You can see, the beauty of agreement, working together as one in the yard. So I want to encourage you to thank God there have been a 21-day challenge for our wife to encourage us.
Yes, so
Please don't even wait for that one. Motivate yourself. Say, I must be part of this yard. I want to experience it, even if out of curiosity. I'm even curious. I want to know, why do they emphasize this? I want to be part of it. Please be encouraged, because inner circle is a place of accountability. It's a place of you must be ready to do the work. If you really want to become an advantage to your children and your posterity, it's a place to be. Because of not going by the imagined social decadence and all the things that are happening in this 21st century, the Gen Z issue, the LGBT, all the stuff that are just bombarding us right and center, that it's a timely system that God has put in place to help many generations. And just like I've said, you cannot raise a king if you don't have a structure. Inner circle is a structure that will first structure your own life. Then it is in your becoming that you can make anything out of life or from your generation. So I encourage you, fathers. I encourage anyone listening to me. It's a place to be. You will never regret. It's not first about the money. Don't allow financial trauma to hinder you from coming in. It's not. It's first about what do I stand to gain in this? The posterity, your personal life, and come with humility. Come with open heart. Don't come with a mindset just like I came. This is a woman. Maybe it's a woman movement. No, come with an open heart. That is when, and you'll be able to experience the impact and be willing to do the work. There's a work to be done. Come with that mindset, because I will tell you, it's in the doing the work that you get the result. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing, Mr. Adeniji. Thank you so much. Mr. Adeniji said, look beyond the money. Look at what it is that is going to happen to you. Inner circle is our place of becoming. It's a place where we actually come, right? In the inner circle, somebody said, a father reached out to me and said, I have never heard a woman say that what a man can do, a woman can do better is wrong. I said, but sir, I don't understand. Why do we want to do what a man can do? We're not interested. We don't want to be Deborah. We are not Deborah. We want to be in our own corner. We want to be right and actually really do it. And last week we had an amazing session with Coach Ebuka and his wife. And Coach Ebuka said, let's do a 21-day challenge. Get your husbands in. Get them to be here because it is important. He said 21 days of serve your husband like an odogu. Who is on it? Adeniji is saying, leave the challenge, dear men. Motivate yourself. The Bible said that David encouraged himself in the Lord. So,
Yes.
David didn't need anybody. All this, they needed to talk to me. Encourage yourself. Move, because you are the one that will hold it. All right. Before Mr. Adeniji shares her insight, I want to remind you that the man by the pool of Bethesda, I've been studying this man in the past 3 months, and every time I go back to that scripture to read something, and I find something. I realized I was still sharing with the conclave wives yesterday night, and I still shared it in the inner circle voice note this morning. And I realized that man, when he was asked, "Will you be made whole?" the man said, "I have no man." What's the correlation? Why were you talking about that? Instead of you to say yes or no, you say you have no man. Why? Because we have gotten to a place where we are constantly looking for a blame game, criticizing, where we just want to it is because, nobody has carried me. He even went on and on. Nobody have carried me. Nobody have put me in the water. That's why I'm still here. And you know the worst part? When he finished all that complaint, you know what Jesus did? Jesus did not say, "Hey, yeah, your complaint is over. Hey, yeah, you have." He just said, "Take up your mat.
Carry your mat and go."
By yourself. It means that you still have a responsibility on you. Dear fathers, nobody is going to rescue nobody. Even if your wife takes up the job of parenting like it's happening in most of our homes, trust me, it will come back to you. No matter the excuse you give, shall you be made whole? You say, coach, you don't understand. I'm a busy man. I work how many days after? Now, like I told the men in the inner circle, when you finish, we'll give you snap at old age. You'll be drinking snap. Because you didn't do anything. So we shall offer you snap and you'll be all right, sir. Please. Yeah. And Mrs. Adeniji, over to you. People who are listening to me now are wondering, this woman with this colored hair and this Cinderella and this Cinderella and this woman just like too much guy. She's the people of the world. Why do I need to come and listen to her? Over to you, man. Talk to your fellow, your fellow heavenly raised people, so that we can all.
Yes, so to all our listeners, I want to say TIP is a place to be, and it's a safe place. Don't be afraid. Some of us are afraid to come in. Don't be afraid to come in. Our coach is a reliable person. She's a very simple person. In fact, we were analyzing a coach when we listened to Coach Ebuka. We said, see, coach accepts everybody. She has a very large, wide arm.
Oh my God.
She's waiting for you.
That's so.
Just come. Just come the way you are.
That's so.
Just come the way you are. And coach, she will sieve you. Is it sieving? Just confess. And be ready to do the work.
Yes.
We have a lovely coach. TIP is a safe place to be. Nobody will rubbish you. Coach will not rubbish you. You will be safe. Coach is a woman under God and a woman under the governor. You are safe. Sorry, with all the shakara, they painted hair. You are safe under her.
So.
So come and join us. The inner circle is beyond just a yard. We say yard, you think it's a small yard. It's a movement already. We have come far. It's no longer a small group, a Facebook page group. It's a movement.
It is.
And it's going into generations on generations. So come and join the inner circle. Join this movement and you won't regret it. Because it's a movement that will outlive us. It will outlive us. Our children are already picking it. And as they pick it, they will also transfer it. It's going to all areas of our life, our circle of influence. Our workplace, that's why I say it's a movement. So come and join this movement. It's a safe place to grow. It's a safe place to live. It's a safe place to multiply, to be productive, a place to be productive. So don't be afraid to come. Don't be afraid to spend money. You will spend, though, let's not lie to you.
That's so.
You will attend program, you will buy books. You will buy books in the inner circle. I even buy beyond inner circle. Because our coach is a growing person. She will recommend books. If she see any new thing that will help other people, she will tell us. And we will key into it. So come prepare to work. Inner circle is not for lazy people. It's for people that are ready to work.
So
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I really love that. Thank you so much to Mrs. Adeniji. You are in a safe place. Rest with all the painted nails and the shakara. You are still in a safe place. We give you safety. And you know, it's not just about me, to be sincere. There's a warmth that happens in the inner circle. It's not really just about me. There's something that happens, you know, the people that, you know, that are there, there's a warmth that if you're not someone who is used to warmth, you might actually really struggle with, you know, at the beginning. There's a lot of warmth in people reach out to you. People will, and that's because it trickles down from the top. The truth is, everybody is accepted. The young, the old, the you know, vulnerable, they come as you are. Like Mr. Adeniji said, come as you are, right? I don't love too many people, but when I love you, I love you. And trust me, yeah, that's that. And yes,
so.
you are one very beloved person. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji. I have really enjoyed gleaning from your insight. Mr. Adeniji, in one word, what would be your last words to fathers as we close?
All right, to fathers, I want to encourage fathers, just like I said earlier. Yeah, you know, one of the things I learned from the TIP Fathers Committee, the last one, it's you know, it's beyond, it's just beyond. I noticed that fathers, there is a generation. There was one of the word that I have heard, like there's an instructional order that God has given, and in that whether it's webinar, that if you cannot, there's a discernment that fathers need to teach their children. If that God, you know, with the way I love coach, the way coach said it, it was with humility that mothers will not do it. It is your job to do that aspect. And I want you to know that as a father, there is a calling. You are the priest of the house, and God respects that. So let us come and learn how to do it better. Let's become who God wants us to be, taking our position. There is no competition. I tell people, I don't compete with my wife doesn't compete with me. Everybody's on his own lane to achieve the same goal. So I want to encourage fathers, let's come and do what we are asked to do. Learn wisdom. I said, this system of inner circle is connected to heaven. I can say with all of my heart, there is an instruction that comes that when you receive, you know that this one is for me. It's not for that person. It's for me, and you work with it. If you work with it, you get the result and move on from there. So, fathers, I want to encourage us. Let's come together. Let's meet in the inner circle, flow together in the yard to achieve God's purpose for our generation and posterity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, fathers. Let's come together. You know, I always say that you have the instructional orders. No apologies to mothers. Get angry all you want. It's not given to us. It's given to these men, and we're going to actually glean from it. And fathers, we need you to take up that mantle and move with it. Thank you again, Mr. Adeniji. Mrs. Adeniji, what will be your last words as we let it go this morning?
My last word is come and join this support system of continuous, great, consistent progress. It's a support system. The yard is a support system. It's a community of like-minded individuals, and it's a safe place. So come and join it, and you will see consistent progress in your life, in your family, in your work, and around you. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. You will see consistent progress in your life, in your family, in your job. I've had a very beautiful time this morning, and I'm so excited to be It is such a pleasure for you guys to be here. And I
Mm.
love you guys and I honor you.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you
you
so much.
too,
Thank you
coach.
very much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you,
You.
coach. Yeah.
you. Happy
Thank
continue our
Mm.
backyard when we go to the
All
park.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you so much. And thank you. I
Oh,
love all the kids. All right, you have just listened to Mr. and Mrs. Adeniji, amazing couple. I love it when couples come on my intentional parenting journey. There's just something different about it. And if you agree with me, there's just something that just happens when the couple they are just working together. And like Mr. Adeniji said, you cannot raise a king when the kingmaker is a slave. No slaves. No, you can't have slave raise a king. It's impossible. A kingmaker must actually grow themselves to become a kingmaker. A kingmaker is an office. Are you that kingmaker for your child? One of the things that I want you to do in the comment section is to send all of the flowers for our guest this morning. Mr. Deniji came with a lot of criticism, and I'm sure that a lot of you are there. Who is this woman? How old is she? How many children does she have? I know a lot of people asking such questions. Are you sure she's going to teach me? Who? How many words of God? She's not teaching the Bible. Are you sure she knows the Bible? Oh, for those of us who are on heavenly race, some of us are not on heavenly race, some of us are heavenly race, But I can tell you for free, if this is not God, tell me what it is. Because the inner circle is that place where, as you are thinking it, you are actually receiving it. Mr. Deniji shared in his testimony that one of those days he had listened to a voice note and it hit him so hard that he shed some tears, picked up himself, and continued to run. See, everybody is transformed in the yard. Everybody is transformed in the yard. And trust me, it has nothing to do with your age or status or whoever it is that you think you are. Who you are is brought all of us, I say it again, all of us have a leveling ground in the yard, including myself. I'm not bigger than you. You are not bigger than me. We're all levelers. We're all here to raise our children differently, to become better for the next generation. And that is what the inner circle is about. Like Emily said in the comment section, what is it now? How much is money? 100K, yeah? So that you can be, you need to actually be here. Some of us, the problem is not the money. The problem is that you have judged. The problem is that you're wondering, are you sure that these people, maybe you are part of the heavenly race people? Like it was Chineye that said, she said she was Holy Ghosted. And when she saw the inner circle, she was like, who will teach me parenting? Only Holy Ghost that can teach me. Okay, if you are on that place, please calm down for your high hopes. God will send men to review the system, on earth, because the blessings of God comes from men through men to men. It comes from God through men to men. All right, God sends his blessing. He needs men to work. The spiritual realm understands the workings of men. Both the evil, part and the system of God works with men. And if you neglect men, there's a part of your life that you will neglect forever. It's not a cost, it is the reality, because there have been men that have been brought to you to actually help you. And if you miss that aspect of your life, you will actually pay a price for it. I was listening to Apostle Selman share about, the ministry of men, and he said, you will pay a price. And sometimes that price could be, something that is very devastating. And the worst part of it, like Miles Moran would say, you will never know that the price was paid. That's the worst part of it. You will never have access to it because you didn't know that life. Sometimes we pay a price and we don't know that we are really paying a price. All right? You don't know that we are really paying a price. And if you are finished judging me, like I can see Dr. Happiness in the comment section, I said, which woman with, hair, and all of that, you are not in that space. I just fell in love with her, right? While some people have a problem with it, leave the messenger, leave me. Come and listen to the message. Get transformed. I am also on a journey like you. I'm on a journey of becoming. My becoming is also a gradual process. If you watch my journey over the years, you will also see that I'm also becoming. So if you continue to judge me on your platter, you will not learn the things that God has sent for you across from this vessel. I am only a vessel. I am only dishing out what it is that I've heard. And if you're listening to me, you are not in the yard yet. You have not registered for this cohort. We have left you. We have actually left you behind. Somebody said, am I the only one that's not in this yard? You are the only one, right? You are the only one. And yes, the inner circle registration closes soon. In 20 days, we shut down like we shut down. We're currently on cohort 1O. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. That's where we are. Cohort 1O is almost all gone. And then we have P. I'm sure by tomorrow or so, we're going to start, onboarding for cohort 1P. Join today. Don't be left out of the ark. No matter where you are, join today. No matter you are very successful, you have already done been on the floor. Don't be as successful as Samson and do not remember that success needs maintenance. This morning, I was sharing with the parents in the inner circle about success needing maintenance. And if you've ever been in the yard, you will know that the yard is somewhere where you pick you pick heavenly signals, like Mr. Adeniji said earlier. You pick heavenly signals. You're actually hearing something and you're seeing God right in it. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be? All right. I need to see you right in the yard. We're settling down to 1st of December 2025. If you've ever heard me, you know that that's the most important date ever. 1st December 2024. You want to actually know what is happening on that day. That is inner circle induction, and that's our Christmas day. That's the day the TIP annual year starts. So our year is ending soon in 20 days. And as soon as it ends, boom, boom, that's it. And then that is how it is that we are moving and moving and moving. I am particularly excited that I'm going to be leading you and being your coach in the next few 20 days. For those of us who are coming in New Year, shout out to you guys. We are prepared to welcome you in the yard. But trust me, all your allotments will be gone. But trust me, it is still a safe heaven to be. It is where you are naked and never ashamed. We do not have a problem with vulnerability in the yard. We have a problem with you just getting stocked up. No, we don't want to get stocked up. We want to be as plain as possible so that we can move on with our lives. I particularly I'm enjoying the 2025 induction webinar. I was preparing the induction webinar, and I've been preparing it for the past 2 months. And every day I'm putting the things and all of that. And I'm like, if you're done with the induction webinar and you remain the same, then know that I'm not called for this on this mountain. You can't remain the same after that webinar. Something in you will shift, literally. You will see yourself shift from where you are. You don't need anybody to tell you what has happened to you. Thank you again for joining us, because the 2025 Inner Circle cohort is going to be a blast. You've never seen a thing like that before. And if you think you've listened to things like Honor as a Skill, Honor as a Skill has taken a shift, a shift from the norm and broken down even in a more shaking way. Thank you again. And somebody saying that the number is not on WhatsApp. It is on WhatsApp. +234. Please add the +234 in front so that you can get us, all right, on WhatsApp. Or you can reach out to us, just make a comment on any of our social media handles, DM. The team would answer you. It is 100,000 naira per year for one person and 170,000 for a couple. Please get your husbands running with you. It is not true that what a man can do, a woman can do better. They lied to you. That person who said that thing to you lied to you. And I'll prove it to you. I will prove it to you countless times. You need that man. You are shoved at the back. Begin to go on the journey. And if it's not right point of the journey yet, start with yourself. Let your result become that thing that man will see. Let your result become that thing that man will see and begin to change. Thank you again for joining me. You remember that woman who was spreading the news after Jesus actually came in contact with her, the Samaritan woman. She went everywhere sharing the news. Have you shared this news to people? We have a mandate to ensure that we're going to have this agenda blow up even when we are no longer here. If you've ever heard about the Alice Bailey's agenda, you have seen how much it has blown up. Alice Bailey's agenda was documented over 100 years ago. Yet, every single one of us are living the Alice Bailey's agenda in the negative. Why don't we think that an agenda can be recreated in generations and generations to come? I am particularly looking forward to having you right on my trail. I look forward to being part of your journey. I look forward to having a piece of me in your home. And yes, someone asked, how are you going to keep us accountable? We have created a system called the conscious police. You will be accountable. Somehow, you will find yourself. And like I often say to the others, By the time you look around, you see me in your dream, then you know you have arrived in the yard. Thank you again for joining me, and see you right in the yard. Don't forget, as soon as we have the maximum number that we have in that yard, we will shut down registration, because we will only take the capacity that we can handle. We want to give you the best, and we can only give you the best. If you know me, I don't drop the ball. I set the standard higher every year. That's the only thing that you would be able to pick out about me. I don't go back, I go forward. Excellence is not perfection, it's in your ability to transform yourself daily and become a better version of yourself. I am an excellent person, and my name is Wendy Ologi. I am effortlessly your number one parent coach. And yes, you call me Africa's number one. Answer you, but most important part is that I'm the vice chancellor of the Inner Circle program of the Intentional Parent Academy. I love it, and I love it for you. See you right in the yard, and see you tomorrow again at 8 o'clock. Have an amazing day, everybody.